Nonetheless, Brian, it's great to have you back in the box, mate. I missed you in the first race. And how are we feeling tonight after missing the first race, obviously? Looking forward to a good second race here?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the last sort of 10 minutes of the race, so it's going to be good to see how it's going to be with the reverse grid.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see, somebody's just dropped well off of them here. In fact, there's a bit of a split in the middle of the pack here. So you've got obviously the lead pack, and then you've got a big gap to the rest of them. Raki there saying, "Good evening, all. Goal this race, keep it on track." I think it's going to be about keeping yourself in it, about keeping yourself out of the wall, trying to avoid damage, and just being a bit consistent here. Kenny Stewart says, "Good luck, guys," in the comments also. Kenny obviously was chiming in on the previous stream in support of Raki. Has joined the Discord server today. He says he wants to get involved in a bit of ACC. He races on the PS5. However, at the moment we're only racing on the PS4 version of ACC. But hopefully, if the PS5 version sorts out the spectator mode, then we'll be right on that. We will be straight in that. We will be dropping that straight in our basket. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether or not that sorts out. But nonetheless, we're also looking to expand to the PC platform as well, potentially. We run 3 days on Project Cars at the moment. We might end up pushing it down to 2 days on PlayStation on Project Cars. So we'll still have PlayStation Project Cars, guys, don't worry. But we might do 2 days on PC Project Cars, 2 days on PlayStation, and then we'll run PC Leagues and ACC on the same days that we're running on the PlayStation. So we'll have plenty to look forward to here on the channel. We also got the F1 starting up on Friday very soon, so there's a lot of action to be seen here at Motive on the PlayStation platform, and hopefully soon to be PC. But nonetheless, we're coming out of the last corner up towards the line. We are about to go racing here for the feature race, 24 laps with a mandatory pit stop. Avu Alfonso will get us underway, and here we go, we're racing. Yeah, well, it was a bit of contact and a bit of a hold up there down towards the first corner. Flash the lights there from SRT Bird as we come into turn one. Now Smokey tries to turn in there on Charlie Goff and gives him the space on the inside. Charlie was right there. Connor has done over Alfonso up into the lead of the race, so it's Connor Boylan who leads ahead of Alfonso, followed by Charlie Goff and Smokey Devil. You got Raki there into P5 ahead of Dirt Rally, followed by SRT Bird. Mike Gaming's right on the back of SRT Bird. You got Ugbar has got one space pretty close on him as well. Smokey's got Dirt Rally looming large on him coming down this little straight down towards the chicane for the first time, but it's Connor from Avu from Charlie Goff. Dirt Rally has got Smokey really close here, so Dirt Rally's made that move into third place around the outside up towards the chicane, and it's been a great start from Dirt Rally so far. But it's Connor from Avo Alfonso from Dirt Rally, Charlie Goff in fourth ahead of Smokey Devil. Raki's lost out to Smokey, as we can see Mike's got ahead of Raki up into sixth place. Smokey has got ahead of Charlie up into fourth, and Mike's trying to come down the middle here.
Really wide.
Yeah, Charlie Goff is massively wide there onto the runoff. He's lost a lot of places there. Charlie Goff having a nightmare of a start to this race, similar to the first race. It's not gone well at all for him. Mike Gaming has had a flyer. He's up into P5 already. He's side through this pack like a hot knife through butter so far in this first lap. As in behind them you've got Raki, sorry, should I say, trying to come around the outside of SRT Bird, and it looks like he might have made that move there. And here we go. Oh my God! Wow, here comes one space, and one space backs out of it sensibly there. Ogbar down the middle, getting 2 places. He pushed him wide. He pushed him really wide there, and there's carnage. There's carnage there. One space coming together there. With was it Abu Benny? No.
SRT Bird.
It was SRT Bird. As we can see, Aussie Albie here is trying to make the move around the outside of Raki, coming down towards the chicane in the foreground there. You can see Ogbar just coming past your shot as Aussie now coming around the outside into the chicane. Can he make this happen? Raki's going to keep it pinned on the inside, and in the end, Raki does manage to swoop back round up into P7. Connor still leads the race. Dirt Rally, though, is all over the back of Connor right now. These two running in the same livery, and Dirt Rally has made really strong progress here in this first race. In this second race, obviously trying to make up for his problems in the first race. He's round the outside of Connor up into the lead, but Connor's not giving up too easily here. Dirt Rally's going to have to really stick it around the outside here. He's going to have to hang it there. Now Connor might have it's Alfonso on the back of him. Coming out of the last corner, you've got Mike Gaming now right in hot pursuit here in 4th place. And Mike Gaming will be looking to try and gain the points, which he would have lost out to one space in the first race here tonight. One space down in P10 has not been the race at all. Mike Gaming down the inside of Alfonso, and he's up into the podium spots here. But Dirt Rally has still got a centre lead over Connor Boylan, and Connor's keeping to the back of him. Is not losing too much time at the moment.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, it's helped Mike out with this championship with the between SRT Bird and one space. But Mike's now making a move into P2.
Yeah, he is. Good stuff there from Mike. So Connor has now got Alfonso looking to his inside. Can Alfonso send one into the chicane? No, he's not quite close enough just at the moment. As you can see, Mike there tagging the grass there, coming through the chicane. Nikki in the comments, used to race with us on Project Cars 2, saying bring back LMP2. If there's demand, Nikki, then why not? I mean, Saturday night always seems like a good night for LMP2, but I mean, the thing is, we set up a Formula Renault League on Saturday, but then it didn't really get much response. So in the end, we stuck with just the 3 leagues for the time being. We obviously we've got Clio on Monday, we've got Touring Cars Thursdays, and we've got GT5s Friday. So we had to scrap the LMP2s, which we were going to run on not the LMP2s, the Formula Renaults, which we proposed to run on Saturday. But I mean, we could try it. End of this season, we'll be obviously starting a new season in September. Yeah, they were just a little bit of bump and grind between Smokey and Alfonso there. But we'll be starting a new league in September, new season here on Project Cars 2. So if anybody fancies it, then keep an eye out, because we might be looking to bring something on a Saturday night. Probably just me in the box for that one. Ryan will be able to make it sometimes, but not all the time, as he usually works, or he's usually seeing his little one on Saturday, so might not be here for that one. But nonetheless, you can see here Dirt Rally looking to the inside of Mike. Yeah, he was looking. He's made it. He's stick there. So Mike has made it up into the lead of the race. Dirt Rally still sticking on the back of him, but Mike Gaming was 4/10 quicker than Dirt Rally now. So is he just gonna up the tempo here and start to stretch away from Dirt Rally, as you've got Connor and Smokey in the background, and looking down the order 1 space is not really making the gains on the leaders that he'd like to be. He's still 10 seconds behind them, and he's in P10 here in this race.
Yeah, it's not looking good for one space. One space was, I think we went out at 7 points off of the lead coming into this week.
Yeah, so obviously he gained those points back in the first race because he won the first race. So I think they're tied on points coming into this one. But Mike will be taking a big lead here. Also Nikki there in the comments saying we would have joined the Formula Renault. We would start at the back as well. So who's we then? Because obviously I know that you guys, it was you, Ben Parkey, you had BT. There were a few of you. I don't want to try and name all of you, because I inevitably miss out a couple. Obviously Dan as well. But I mean, if you guys are up for it, that would definitely give us a platform to work with. So yeah, we can look into it. But Dirt Rally nonetheless looking to the outside of Mike, goes onto the grass a little bit. Yeah, Mike just making his car as wide as he can. It's kind of there in the background ahead of Smokey. Still these guys keeping themselves in striking distance. Smokey on the last lap was almost matching. In fact, he was quicker than the race leader Mike. So Smokey Devil driving an absolute blinder here in this second race. Dirt Rally still right on the back of Mike Gaming, coming down towards the penultimate corner, but Mike's got this covered off coming into the final part of this lap. As Nicky there saying in the comments, okay, Andy, I will be in touch. Good to hear, mate. Looking forward to sorting something out. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? And Smokey's made the move on Connor up into 3rd place around the outside through the last corner. So that's nicely done there from Smokey Devil. But Mike now trying to stretch away here from these guys in the lead. Lap 7 of 24, relatively early stages. Not a single driver, I don't think, other than... Oh, actually, no, hold on. I don't think... No. I think only DJ Phil's been into the pits so far in this race, I think. Did Abu Benny come in on the early on? I don't know if he did. I don't know if you know, Ryan.
Charlie, Abu Benny, DJ Phil come in.
Oh, they have. Okay, Charlie's been in. Right. Okay. Although his pace is off the pace at the moment, so he's not going to be able to make it work at this stage. Pressure seems to be getting to P2 Green Car. Yeah, it was because Dirt Rally's dropped down to 4th place. You're absolutely right there, Kenny. Smokey up into P2, but Mike Gaming has just managed to stretch away here over this last lap or so. So Mike Gaming's now looking in cruise control. You can see there in the distance, there's DJ Phil just going through the penultimate corner, so they'll be putting a lap on DJ Phil shortly, you would imagine. But Mike's opened up to Smokey. Alfonso there in third place with Aussie Albie there in P4 at this point. But yeah, bit of a shake-up right now with Dirt Rally down in P9 now, and Connor Boylan down in P10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's now mixing up a little bit. I mean, one space is now up to P6, but we've got Dirt Rally, Connor, Charlie, Abby Benny. We've avoided that pit stop.
We have indeed. So there's
Dirt Rally's in again.
He is, yeah. Dirt Rally coming in now.
It's a big bit of damage onto the front end of that.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a long time, I reckon, in that pit stop. But Mike Gaming's got the gap up to 1.6 to Smokey. Raki.
Colin's in as well.
Yeah, he is.
Colin's got the same damage.
Oh dear. So Dirt Rally, that will explain why they dropped down to P9 and P10 respectively. They were obviously in that battle for the podium spots, but Smokey seems to have got through that one unscathed, running in P2. But nonetheless, they were right with Mike and Smokey before their incident.
Oh, and someone's disconnected.
Oh no, Smokey's bailed. No, not Smokey, sorry.
Dirt Rally.
He's retired from the race, yeah. Dirt Rally's out. What a shame. What a shame. Was in contention for a podium in this race. Obviously felt like the damage meant it wasn't worth continuing here in this race. And who can blame him, I guess? It's one of them where it's like, well, what's the point now? You know, he obviously felt like he couldn't achieve anything, and that his hopes and dreams in this race had been dashed. But Aussie Albie and Ogbar into the pits here at the end of lap 8 nonetheless. And Smokey's got the gap down to Mike Gaming to 1.5, so Smokey has been a little bit quicker over the course of this lap at the moment. That gap at the front kind of ebbing and flowing, but Smokey Devil's keeping Mike honest out the front of this pack. We're watching SRT Bird at the moment, who's running just ahead of Raki, as these two are battling out over P5 and 6. Right, hello?
Sorry.
What happened there, mate? You alright?
Distraction.
Oh, right. Yeah, Mike within 3 seconds of Mike. So Mike's dropped it. Mike has dropped it somewhere. Smokey now leads the race. Oh my god! Wow!
We're both in the world right, Andy.
I know.
Oh, that's a very wide line.
Mate, well, I had a bit to drink and I'm very tired as well, so I'm literally like a bit away with the fairies. But DJ Phil wide into the barrier will have a bit of damage on the left-hand side of his car. Connor though running in P9 after his collision a little bit earlier on with Dirt Rally, those two dropping out of the contention for the podium. But Smokey Devil, what a race Smokey's driving tonight, Ryan. This could be his big chance to take a win here this season. He is looking, yeah, one space trying to make the move here on Abu Alfonso. One space now within 8 seconds of the lead. One space is now closing in on the leaders as he's now cruising past Abu Alfonso up into the podium spots. So that's another space gain there for him.
Yet. Obviously, Alfonso will have the slipstream down the straight.
Yeah, he might be able to come back. Possibly, yeah. Ogbar into the pits at the moment at the end of lap 9. But currently Smokey's still out the front with a 3-second gap, as we can see. One space just a bit too far ahead of Abu Alfonso for Abu Alfonso to come back at him coming into the chicane. Mike running in P2 at the moment, still keeping the gap to Smokey, so he hasn't got any damage, but obviously he lost a bit of time to the leader.
Just looking at where the guys are on track. I think Aussie's the leading driver that's pitted.
Yeah, I think you're right. Charlie. Oh, we lost another driver. Yeah, we have lost another driver. That's DJ Phil. DJ Phil is out of the race here on lap 10 of the race. So what a shame there for him. But Mike's managed to gain half a second on Smokey on that last lap, so he's starting to come back at the race leader. But Smokey obviously has got the ascendancy. He's got track position here. He has got some traffic that's just in front of him by the looks of it, which he's just going to have to negotiate in a second. So that's, I think it's Connor just in front of him. In fact, he's done Connor. So Smokey's actually done Connor, and he's in some clean air now. Yeah. But this race is settling down a bit now. Everybody's a bit spread out. You know, there's not really too much going on at this point. Seems like
definitely. I mean, we've seen it in the Clios and the touring cars. The battles have been bumper to bumper because of just how they are. Because obviously with the front wheel drive and everything like that, it's a little bit easier control. Whereas these are rear wheel drive. Don't weigh anything because what looks like a car shell, it's not. Even though you can buy this car, what they race with is not the same shell. So this shell is fully made of carbon fibre, epoxy resin and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Fiberglass, that's it. The whole shell is fiberglass.
Oh my goodness.
So see, when we see the crashes, front end crashes, and we just see the whole front end just disappear, bumper and the bonnet, is because it is all in one. So when they go in the pit stop, in the paddock, they just unbolt the two hinges that are next to the headlights, which actually aren't even headlights. These ones are headlights because they're the GT5s, but like the GT Juniors, they have light buckets. They just have a sticker, and a fiberglass bucket with a sticker over the where the lights would be. But when they lift the bonnet up, so it's like an old classic BMW sort of thing like that, where the bonnet lifted forwards instead of up backwards.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. So we got Mike. So yeah, pretty much it's just like it's all one solitary kind of like thing, essentially. We've got 9 people currently watching, guys. So please smash that like button if you are enjoying the stream right now, as the action just seems a little bit sparse at the moment. If I'm completely utterly brutally honest.
Ryan's dribbling his beer.
Ryan's dribbling his beer. Andy's slurring his words. We're all a little bit worse for wear tonight, but
it's Friday.
It's Friday. No. Shut up. Piece of dumb.
Andy, I was hoping you could do the other one.
What's that?
It's Friday, Saturday, then it's what?
It's Friday then.
It's Friday, Saturday, what?
TTV says, "Are you okay, Andy and Ryan?" I think so. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of alive still.
I think I'm alright. I think I'm, hanging in there just about. Sat here waiting to pick off anyone who comes at me, but chilled out, relaxed, in good spirits.
I'll knock you up, bro.
Bro, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. Just waiting for my chance. I'm waiting to do what I was born to do. To provide a little bit of a... I'm waiting to leave my mark. That's what I'm doing. Only joking, guys, by the way. I would never ever do anything unless somebody came at me and I felt like I was in danger. But nonetheless, we see Raki in the pits right now here at the end of lap 13. So he's getting his pit stop done. So he's now the what is it, the 6th driver in this race to come in. The top 5 are all still yet to make their pit stops. So Smokey, Mike, One Space, Avu, and SRT have all got to come in at some point over the next 10 laps. But it's up to them when they do it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's like whenever you fancy, whatever's convenient for you, my good sir, you may come in, stop in your box, do your pit stop, and then off you go again. So yeah, there's no real time constraints, there's no rush. It's just like, it's just, we'll let that one just hang for a bit and then see how it goes. But nonetheless, Mike looks like he's coming into the pits and to make his pit stop here at the end of lap 14.
Yeah, well, we get the pit stop out of the way and hope that he can jump Smokey.
Yeah, I mean, he was reasonably close to him, but Smokey's had the lead since Mike dropped it a few laps ago. So this is now a crucial moment for Mike in this race. Smokey's got a 6-second gap at the moment to one space. One space was 7/10 quicker than Smokey level on that last lap. Mike is now in P4 with SRTs also coming to the pits at the end of lap 14 as well. So both of those two coming in with 10 laps in this race left to go. Smokey Devil is still out the front, and Smokey's within half a second of his personal best through the first sector, so he's still doing decent sector times, but they are starting to drop off ever so slightly. With the fuel load lightening, you'd think he'd be going quicker, but I suppose the tyre is probably a factor at this point, you'd think. As SRTs come out in P7, and Mike's currently in P4 at the moment then. So Smokey, one space, and Alfonso have all got to do their pit stop at some point, but obviously everybody else has done their pit stop now, so everybody from 4th downwards can breathe a sigh of relief. They've done their pit stop, they got it done out of the way, they haven't got to worry and stress and concern themselves with the pit stop, because obviously they got it done out of the way, and that's obviously great for them, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, they've. It's just good to see where the gap is between Mike and Smokey, and see how much it closes.
Yeah, it certainly is. We can see Smokey here just making his way past Ugbar. So Ugbar it's had a bit of a torrid second race, it must be said. I don't know quite what's happened to him, but it's not really gone the way that I think he would have ideally envisaged it going. But nonetheless, Smokey there putting it up on him, and Smokey really in the battle for the win tonight. His gap to one space is going down quite quickly. It's now under 5 seconds, so one space there dipping into the 118s on the previous lap, and is setting some blistering lap times. It looks like one space maybe was running slightly lower tyre pressures, because in the early part of the race he was struggling. Now he seems like he's the quickest man out there, and maybe Smokey's tyre pressures, maybe Mike's have just started to go a little bit through the roof, and one spaces are now probably just in the zone where he's really able to wring the neck out of them. So we come over the line to complete lap 16. We've got 8 laps left to go here at the Glen for the GT5 Ginetta Cup, race 2 of the evening. We've got not much more racing left here for tonight, but it's been great action here on the channel. Guys, if you've enjoyed the stream over the course of tonight, please do smash the like button on both streams. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join us at www.motiveracing.com if you want to get involved in some of the action. We've got leagues on Project Cars 2, ACC, and F1 starting up at the beginning of September. So lots to get involved with here and lots to get excited about.
AVU, Benny, Alfonso's in the back of the fence.
Oh no. Oh no, that was a scheduled stop. Yeah, we knew that one was coming. But we can see there, that's Charlie Goff there coming down the pit straight. So he moves up into P5. SRT Bird into P6. You've got Raki there in 7th. In the distance there, you've got Avu Benny, who's just coming through into turn 1. And yeah.
So Smokey and one space are coming through the final corner. One space, Smokey staying out, one space is staying out. And Mike is actually slightly closing.
Yes, indeed. So Mike is chipping away, but one space, as we say, is chipping away at Smokey. So, I mean, is he going to get there in time, or is Smokey going to just ride it out? Mike could actually be. I think Mike is in a net P2 and could be even been a net P1 at this point. If he continues at the rate he's going, he might very well be in the lead by the time Smokey comes in. If I was Smokey at this point, I would be thinking very much get the pit stop done, because if he stays out for much longer and Mike continues to outpace him, Mike can end up in front of him. The thing is, Smokey's best chance of beating Mike, I think, is to come out in front of him and to be the roadblock, because if he's not in front of him, if he's not physically in front of him, he has no sort of like say on the pace that Mike can go. So Mike can just continue to drive in clean air, pump in the lap times, and he can get that overcut on Smokey. Sorry, that undercut, should I say. So Smokey would be well advised, I think, to get himself in that pit box so that he can then have a say in how this pans out.
Yeah, Mike's just got to push hard on the tyres now. Smokey's in the pit lane.
Yeah, no surprise there. I was saying he's got to do it now. It's now or never here for Smokey Devil. So 1 space here now leads the race, but obviously he has to come into the pits between now and the end of the race at some point. He can leave it to the last minute though if he wants. As we can see, Smokey should be away in a moment. Oh, it's a long stop there from Smokey Devil. Yeah, that was a bit of a long one. Maybe he's changed tyres. Maybe he's changed.
No, if you would have seen.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Right. Well, Smokey Devil with a very long pit stop there, and he's down to P3, and he is well off at the back of Mike Gaming. So this battle for the win, I think, might not even be a battle because Mike Gaming within 20 seconds of 1 space. I think he'll jump him by about 4 or 5 seconds. I think that Mike is going to cruise to quite an easy win here, if I'm honest. As I'm just noticing on the timing screen that the battle for P5, oh, as Mike cuts the inside of the chicane. Wow, that's a bit of track limits there, Mike. Naughty. But continuing on his merry way nonetheless. Charlie Goff and SRT having a bit of a battle for 5th and 6th at the moment, Ryan. Those two seem pretty close at the moment. As we jump on board with Charlie, well, we're not on board with him, but you know, we're following him on the trackside camera. And here goes SRT looking to the inside, trying it here on Charlie, as Charlie leaves him the space, and SRT Bird there down the inside, keeping off of that apex on the inside. You don't want to go anywhere near that through that right hander, and he gets it done. But now Charlie's got the slipstream. He's going to come back at him, looking to the outside. SRT defends, now squeezes into the outside of the track. Charlie Goff going to try and go around the long way here into the penultimate corner, but SRT Bird is going to cover that one off, and Charlie nowhere to go, has to take to the runoff. So 5 laps left here in this race for the GT5s here at Watkins Glen tonight for race 6. Obviously this is round 3 of the season here at Motive, and currently 1 space with the lead, 20 seconds of a gap right now over Mike Gaming. The big question on everybody's lips at the moment is where is 1 space going to come out once he comes in to serve his pit stop. Obviously he'll probably coming out a little way behind Mike Gaming, or if you can have a really quick pit stop, maybe he might be close to him. I mean, I would say Mike's the definite favourite. Oh, 1 space is in. 1 space is now in at the end of lap 20, so 4 laps left to go. He's coming in and getting it done. He's not really getting it done and out of the way because he has left it quite late here, so I would say he is probably undertaking a necessity rather than getting it done and out of the way. But nonetheless, there he is in the box at this point. Now, where is Mike Gaming going to be? Mike Gaming a little way back at the moment. As we can see, 1 space is now moving, so Mike Gaming there down the around turn 1 has actually already come around, so he's miles ahead. And Smokey might actually get 1 space here. It's going to be close. No, he's going to come up short.
1 space is already out.
Yeah, so Smokey about 5 seconds behind.
Smokey's under pressure from Aussie there.
Aussie, I'll be sensing a podium here. Tell you what, Aussie's had a really quiet race in this feature race. He's just gone about his business and could really be in with a great chance of P3 in this race. Kenny there says, is that where the apex is? I think that was in regards to Mike Gaming cutting the inside of the chicane. We'll have to actually watch that back because he seemed like he did a 1:18.9 on that last lap, which is a very quick time indeed. Now, obviously, we don't know if he gained time through that part of the track, but that could be a little bit of a...
Who was that?
A bit of a red flag there. Mike Gaming, we were watching him as he went through the chicane. Remember when he mowed the lawn on the exit of the chicane?
Yeah.
So I think maybe he might have done that 1:18.9 on that lap, in which case we should probably have a look at his race to see if he's doing that often. If he only did it once, maybe we can draw a line. Twice, is a little bit, but if he's doing that multiple times, then that might be one that we the stewards will have to fancy a look at.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if you did it once, maybe, you can sort of say it's a one-off, okay. you know, it's maybe out of character, but if he's repeatedly doing it, then I think that's something we'd have to look into. You know, it becomes an issue when you feel like you can't trust that somebody is sort of like can adhere to the rules or is safe. That's when I think you need to take action. But ultimately, we'll have to take a look. I'm sure it probably was a mistake. You know, I'm probably being quite negative here. I'm probably being a bit of a pessimist, but I assume it's probably a mistake, and he ended up having to take to the runoff to avoid a spin or something. I'm sure there's nothing untoward, and I'm sure there was no malicious intent or intent to gain an advantage. He's a bit wide there, though. I tell you what, he's running very wide through some of these corners. Potentially, this could be one to look at. That was a 1:19.2. I think they're all running wide to some extent. I don't think he's the only one. And you know, you've got to sort of like be a little bit clever about it. You've got to be consistent with how you apply the rules. Obviously, that's the first thing. You can't like be paying massive attention to one person who's, you know, done quite a low level sort of like transgression, and then be all hot on the back of another person who's, you know, done something like, you know, not too bad, and then you've got somebody else who's done a load of things, and you're just like, yeah, okay, no, we'll just ignore that because they're a bit more difficult to go after. You've kind of got to consistently apply the rules. So instead of going for the easy targets, you've got to be much more sort of like, you've got to apply the rules consistently. Otherwise, you're just a laughing stock. You're just a joke if you don't. So we'll be making sure that we check all of these track limits and just keeping on top of it. But he seems to be all right over the last lap or so anyway. But nonetheless, Conor Boylan into the pits at the end of lap 22 for him. Obviously, Mike Gaming starting lap 24 at the moment. So final lap of the race here at Watkins Glen for the GT5 Ginettas. Smokey there running in P3 just in front of Aussie Albie at the moment. But yeah, closing stages of this race. Watching Smokey at the moment as he's battling Aussie Albie. Ryan seems to have dipped, so I don't know what's happened to Ryan Ruby, my commentating buddy here. Seems to have
my mic
chipped.
wasn't half mute. I was just saying that Aussie needs to make a move on Smokey here.
Yeah, he's really got to throw caution to the wind.
Championship. I mean, the next driver in front of him is Charlie Goff. Charlie Goff's 2 places.
Mike is slowing. Mike is out of fuel. Mike is out of fuel. 1 space is in the leader. Mike Gaming is grinding to a halt here. So that's going to promote Smokey Devil onto the podium into P2. Aussie Albie is going to finish in 3rd place. So Aussie Albie's going to get a podium here. But 1 space is coming to the final couple of corners. So 1 space is going to take a fortuitous win here in this 2nd race, and he's going to take a big championship lead. Has Mike got enough to get to the end? No, he hasn't. Mike has run out of fuel. As we can see, Smokey Devil is going to hold on for P2. Aussie Albie completing the podium. SRT Bird is going to come around to take 4th place in a minute ahead of Charlie Goff. Avu Benny and Avo Afonso running in 7th and 8th. Not sure which one's which, but there is Avu Benny ahead of Avo Afonso. It's Avo Afonso binning it coming through the chicane, and he's going to lose out to Ogbar. Ogbar up into 8th. Oh my goodness. That is insane. As Emma there saying, unlucky Mike, well done Aussie. Great job Aussie Albie on the podium here in this feature race. He's definitely, I think, been overdue a strong result here in these GT5s. These are cars that he loves, and great to see Aussie Albie back where he belongs here in the Motive Racing Leagues. But I think that Abu Benny's going to be coming over soon. Ogbar will be coming up to finish in 8th place. Abu Alfonso will be 9th, and Conor Boylan completing the classification over a lap down in P10. But that was a hell of a race, and what a shame for Mike Gaming at the end of that race. He will be absolutely gutted with that. He will be fuming, I'm sure. But nonetheless, it is 1 space who takes the victory here tonight. In the end, bit of a surprise for Smokey and Albie, obviously getting onto the podium. They're quite fortuitous for them. Just at the end, managing to make the most of Mike Gaming's misjudgment there, really, in terms of the fuel. But Mike Gaming was obviously seemingly in control of the race, and it slipped away from him there. But one space taken away ahead of Smokey, with Aussie Albie third. SRT Bird finishes in fourth place with Charlie Goff P5. Raki sixth ahead of Abu Benny in seventh, followed by Ogbar in eighth. Abu Alfonso finishes in ninth place, followed by Connor Boylan in P10. Mike Gaming in 11th place, rounding out the classification. But guys, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for watching this back afterwards. None of you currently watching, smash the like button. And if you do enjoy, then please subscribe to the channel. If you want to get involved in the action, go to www.motiveracing.com as well. We'll be back on Sunday night now for the GT3 Sprint Championship on ACC on the PlayStation platform. I'll be live from Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona at 6:30 p.m. BST, that's UK time for those who aren't familiar with the time zone that the UK is currently residing in. And then on Monday night, we'll be back for the Clio Cup. That will be round 4 of the Clio Cup. Back on Project Cars 2, we'll be live at 8:30 p.m. BST, that's UK time as well, as I mentioned a moment ago. So we'll be live from 8:30 p.m. at Monaco on Monday night for the Clio Cup. That is going to be a hella exciting. Following that, we'll be back on Wednesday night for the GT3 League on ACC, the Endurance GT3 League. That will be at the Nürburgring. That will be at 7 p.m. UK time. The touring cars will be live at Brands Hatch from 8:30 p.m. UK time on Thursday night. Then next week we'll be back on here for the GT5 Ginetta Cup, and that will be at Indianapolis Road Course.
I was close.
We're not racing at Laguna this season. We might be going there in the Clios. I'm not sure.
I thought we had 3 rounds of America.
Yeah, Watkins, Indy, Sonoma. So next week will be Indianapolis. Join us again next time, same place, same time, 9 p.m. UK time. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight. Even bigger thank you to the drivers for joining us, and all obviously the family members, friends and associates in the comments as well. Cheers to Kenny, Emma, TTV, Nikki, also to Archie as well, and Raki. And guys, we'll see you soon. Take it easy, everybody, and good night.